Since I was like in my 20s. Yeah, I knew him since I was in my 20s. I got cut my facial hair. I know him since I was in my 20s. We had a serious conversation about Tiamat today. Um, he um he was a part of the Nation of Islam. He was also a part of the 5% Nation, the Nation of Gods and Earths. He was a part of the Ansar Allah community and later became connected to the Nawabians, who studied under Dr. Malachi York. So we had a serious conversation today. Peace. What's up, bro? I gotta tell you this story, man. All right, so me and my mentor, his name is Winston Parks Bay. He's also a part of Joe Bratton Bay Temple. So we talked about a lot. He studied under Dr. Malachi York teaching. So we talked about Tiamat today, and he said that Tiamat's head is up there at her head is located right there where the Caribbean is, and she's all the way down to South America, but she's actually 9,000 feet long. So what I found out is that they're calling Leviathan, aka Tiamat, instead of saying he, they actually calling her, which is interesting. So what people don't know is that during the time when the U.S. invaded Iraq, and my old mentor gave me the pamphlet, when they see Saddam, and I told y'all before that Saddam was a 33rd degree Freemason, he was also telling everybody he was Nebuchadnezzar reincarnated. People need to look that up. So, make a long story short, when they invaded Iraq, some of the high ranked people or officials, they drew or created a flaming serpent, because what people don't know is that Iraq was actually where one of the stargates are located at. That flaming serpent, I told my old mentor about it. He was like, "Oh yeah, I remember that." I said, "Yeah, I was 24 during the time. That was 20 years ago, y'all." So, make a long story short, I started telling him, like, that serpent. I think that was a rite, what y'all call rituals. You know what I'm saying? I think that was it's a rite, what you call rituals and everything today. So when they did that, I'm like, that could have opened up a stargate to open up some other stuff which is happening right now. Remember, Dr. Samuel Lee said that there's 12 stargates. Okay, so now we're dealing with this. Everybody's getting shook about Tiamat. And Tiamat, people really found out that Tiamat is actually Leviathan. But here's the kicker: Leviathan is female, but that also, I showed y'all a video where Tiamat and Leviathan are pretty much kind of the same. All right? So, we started going into details about the Kundalini energy. We started going into details about how the Kundalini is connected to the Nagas. Who are the Nagas? You, melanated people, the one they call Moors or the Mers, same thing. And they also connect to the mermaids, like my daughter said in the background. So what's happening, right? There is a complete transformation that's taking place right now, and it's been going on for a while now. Everything is going back to how the way it used to be. We're dealing with the divine feminine energy. The divine feminine energy is also considered and called the Christ consciousness, but it's also bringing forth the awakening of her, the primordial great mother herself. I've been telling y'all, along with my mentor was talking about, that we are also part draconian. And I also let him know that the Moors or Mers are also called, shout out to a Asida Ducateers for this, that the Moors or Mers are actually the high priestesses and priests of Anu. Anu was also connected to Tiamat. He was, I think, the great grandson or the great great grandson of Tiamat. And y'all saying, well, who is Tiamat then? Tiamat was called the dragon queen or goddess, how you want to call her. But she's also called the primordial great mother. She's the one that created the cosmos and all of the dimensions. So, and also we have parts of Tiamat in us as melanated people. I wanted y'all to know that we have parts of her in us. They know that, and that's also connected to the nine ether that Dr. York been talking about. So, I just think it's funny how the numbers just fluctuate up and down. If you like what you hear, I know y'all gonna run back to your channel and talk about that, but here you go. The non-ether is connected to the melanated people, or may I say the ancient ones, who are called the Mers, who were actually the original people that were in the United States of America, or Turtle Island, or El Marak. Okay? So that's all connected to that. I don't watch distractions, Becky. I don't watch distractions. So let me see. So all that shows and is telling us is that El Marak, or America, or Tamaray, this is another name for America, is Tamaray, right, is connected to the primordial mother too, as well, just like we are. How you doing, Joel? Like we are connected to the primordial mother. So me and my mentor going back and forth talking about all this information, and I said, well, to let everybody like that, let you know, I was like, well, Tiamat, the primordial mother, is also connected to the X chromosome. The X chromosome is called the mitochondrial, which is only found in a specific group of women. So-called black women is connected to that particular mother, or the primordial mother. That is why they have what they call the Eve gene, which is another name for the what? For the mitochondrial. That is also connected to none other than the Kundalini energy. He was like, whoa. He's like, you're right, though. I said, yeah. I said, so here's the kicker. The kicker is that these other nations know about, they are scared of the awakening of us. They know that when we wake up, game over. But mainly when you, so-called black women, wake up in this country. But here's another thing I want to share with you. There's an empress named Sheba III that's over there in Al-Kabylon, which we call Africa. For years, she's been trying to reach out to us over here. There's a video that's like 13 years old where she said that the kingdom of Africa also stretched from there, what you call Al-Kabylon, which is the real name, to here, and vice versa, from here to there. So where am I going at with this? Don't you know that when a lot of us touch down over there in Al-Kabylon, we're activating something over there? Dr. Moonby, shout out to her, and shout out to Brother Pisces the King. She spoke about ISO speed going over there, and how it's a spiritual connection. How you doing, Mother Shelley? How it's activating a spiritual connection over there, and it's speeding up the process of their spiritual gifts, pretty much. Just summarizing and paraphrasing it. Okay. So that's one of the things why ISO speed is over there. It's an esoteric reason why he's over there in Al-Kabylon, what you call Africa. It goes back directly to Tiamat. Because what people don't know, what I'm going to show y'all one of the old banners. Ah, good. So you see, I'm not making up this stuff that I'm talking about. See, all right, I'm going to tell y'all something real quick. Those that are against the Moors or Mers, that's trying to say that we are from North Africa, allegedly, this is also considered Africa, Al-Kabylon, but we call it Tamaray. This is documented facts. Now, anyway, I'm going to show, not today, but hopefully probably tomorrow, from a good friend of mine who's in California right now. She has one of the original banners or flags, and it has a huge serpent on it. A lot of people don't want to hear that. So, therefore, I also was telling my old mentor that all of the mothers are coming together. Shout out to my twin flame. She told me, shout out to Chief Rare Bird, and all the mothers. All of the mothers that's coming together. They actually are doing it right now. Shout out to all of them. So it's happening right now. That is why Tiamat is also awakening. So I told him that. He was like, whoa. I said, yeah, he also agreed that all of the mothers are coming together as we now speak. And it's been going on. That also goes back to what Mother Shelley came on Empress Sheba the Third. I said, well, she has been reaching out to us over here. She's been reaching out to us over here. Which means what they don't tell you is that she was in exile. She was in exile in the Caribbean. And she finally went back to El Cabulon some 13 years ago. And she has one of the oldest, if not the oldest, matriarch blood walking on this here planet. So, therefore, all the mothers are coming together as one unison to claim their throne back. This is also connected to Nasara and Jasara. See, I told y'all that something big is going to happen before this whole Nasara Jasara thing takes place. Now everybody's looking at that serpent head as big as heck. That's right there near the Caribbean. All the way down to where? All the way down to Venezuela. And shout out to Mother Shelley again. She was the one that told me that the oil is the blood of Tiamat herself. So, me and my old mentor were just going back and forth with this information. So here I am. I have to give and let the sisters know, the mothers know that have not fully awakened yet. It is time to wake up. This is a great time to be alive because from what I'm finding out, and shout out to Rod Hayes as well, because me and Rod, we talked a couple times. And he was on Fairburn's channel. Mother Shelley sent it to me. They have said that they trying to figure out who's going to be the representatives. Oh yeah, I'm not. You already know. You see how many numbers and how the numbers are going, brother. You see that, right? You see where it's going at, right? Because somebody or multiple people are going to go on their channels and talk about this. And they probably start shouting out Dr. York and many other people on. They ain't going, well, they never listen to Dr. York. And they're going to start saying certain things that's been said on here. Because the simple fact is they can't come up with their own. See how the numbers just went from 7 to 4. So I ain't going to say too much. This is not going to be a long live. But I digress. So I'm going to finish up real quick. So Rod and Furban was talking about the mothers coming together, which is very true. So all of you brothers and sisters, but mainly you brothers that is not acknowledging the primordial mother, I feel for you. Because all of the religions, shout out to Pisces the King again, and also Mother Shelley, all of these religions are patriarchal. They all deal with the patriarchy, not the matriarch. And they've been shunning Tiamat for the longest time. And now they're scared because they know that she's awakening. That is also the reason why they've been trying to block the sun. And like I was telling brothers and sisters, we're in the sun cycle now. We're in the sun cycle. And also, another live, yours truly also put out there that since we're in the sun cycle, a lot of your agents out there that's been hijacking and lying to the people, this is the year of exposure that's coming in the spring. And they are also saying that Tiamat might be awakening this year coming. So, because we're still in 2025 until the spring. And the spring really do starts in like what? Like close to the end of what? March, going into the beginning of April. And I've been telling brothers and sisters from another life, that there's an ancient feminine energy coming. And you know what my mentor said? He said, Mo, you're right. Oh, thank you, beloved Empress. So he told me that I was right about that ancient divine feminine energy. He said, you're right. He said he'd been looking at everything. So my thing is, do all the shadow work that you have to do ASAP. All of y'all who heart's not right, as far as your heart chakra, I've been telling y'all about that heart chakra too. Can I tell you a little something? Tiamat is connected to those brothers and sisters whose hearts are pure as well. You gotta remember, she's a mother too, nurturing. She protects her children. Her children are waking up. Her daughters and sons are waking up. And from what Dr. Malachi York said about the Shriners and Eastern Stars years ago, they were supposed to protect this coming. It's supposed to be a child that they were talking about that's supposed to be coming. No, not the Antichrist, none of that. No, no, no. But it's an old lecture he did years ago before they kidnapped him. And I recommend y'all find it. Dr. Malachi York, the Shriners, and I think it's the Eastern Star and Shriners. I can't remember. So I think that y'all might need to check that out. Okay? Because there's a lot of things that's about to take place. While the mothers are all coming together, there's going to be a representative that sits on the throne that's going to represent Tiamat. And a lot of people are going to be surprised from what Brother Rod's been saying and also what Mother Furburn been saying. So I'm just letting y'all know this is not a joke. Why do you think all these natural disasters are happening? They're happening because of Tiamat reawakening and also her children who are connected to the 144,000 frequency to bring forth balance, which is the yin and yang, which is our sons and daughters coming together on that vibration to bring forth what you call the Christ consciousness, but we call that the asset consciousness. Because remember earlier I told y'all about the name to write down. IESOUS. Write that down again. IESOUS. You tell me what that means, or you find out what that name really says, and then you'll realize who was really crucified. So all you that be watching and taking information from this channel, I got to thank you for something though. You know what I want to thank you for? Taking our information off this channel, for spreading the information. But just know that that time is going to come when you're going to have to stand in front of those mothers, and they are going to most definitely judge you because you have not been given a shout out to the primordial mother, period. Because you still call her he, not she. I'm letting you know. You keep on calling her he and not she. That's the problem. You don't want to admit that she came first, and she always have been and always will be the true divine creator of all. She is the all. I told y'all, look up the book called The Kabbalion, written by the three initiates, the seven spiritual laws. She is the all. She created all of the dimensions, all the multiverses of yourself that's in these different dimensions. She created all that because you know why? You have that spark of her in you. I showed y'all the video with the brother breaking all that down. You are non-ether beings, not six ether. You know who also have the six ether? You know who also had the six ether? Those that lack the melanin. Those that lack the melanin have the six ether. Those that have the nine ether are us. This is documented facts. The number 9, which is the Gregorian year we're in is dealing with completion, but it's also connected. It's a galactic code dealing with the cosmos, dealing with the primordial mother. And you got to remember, the number 9 is also connected to how long you were in your mom's womb. And I told y'all earlier that leg, arm, head. Leg, arm, head is that of Allah. That's another name for one of her 10,000 names. But her real name for Allah is Allat. Allat. All that is connected. That's a part of her 10,000 names. She's also called the Queen of the Night. I told y'all get the book, the Great Black Mama of Creation by Suzar. Now, watch how many people are going to get that book and they're going to start talking out of it because they don't want people to know about the truth. And a lot of them are going to be men on these YouTube streets that's going to be doing that because they still have an agenda of being chauvinist. They still going to have the mindset of being a patriarch, going to have that patriarch mindset. Don't you know that when Amor put his fez on, the fez has the tassel on it, right? But before he put the fez on, right here at the bottom, when he put his fez on, that represents 360 degrees of the physical, both positive and negative. At the top of the fez, with the tassel, represents 360 degrees spiritual. But you know what? 360 degrees equals the number 9. Back to the number 9 again. So, when you have 360 degrees physical that you mastered, 360 degrees spiritual that you done mastered, you add the numbers up, you get the number 720. 720 equals the number 9. The tassel that be on the fez is the umbilical cord to Allah. Y'all better look this up. So therefore, any name ending with AH is feminine. So all you Hebrew Israelites are saying Yahweh or Yahweh and all that. Don't you realize that you're actually saying, may I say, feminine names? You better look it up. And what they did, they gave you the Bible, think that they talking about a male deity, when in actuality, they talk about the great mother herself. They took bits and pieces from different stories and have you thinking that she is a he, when it's actually she, not he. You got to remember how much water you have in your daggone body, like 70 to 75% water. This is also dealing with the moon. That's connected to the moon. The moon also controls what? The currency or the current of what? The tide of the water, the current of the water. I ain't gonna say too much no more, cause I know we being watched on this channel, and I know for a fact, all of us know for a fact that people are taking this information. Of course, it's free to y'all. Thing that's so funny, those that take the information and regurgitate it, do your homework. You might learn something by researching. And I'm not being an asshole or a jackass. I'm telling you the truth, because you're going to get questions. So you better do your homework, because people are going to know if you're making stuff up. Enough is enough. I'm going to tell you what I heard. I heard so many things spiritually, and I heard no more God games. That's what I heard. And I've been trying to say that to people for a minute. I've been hearing that in the ethers for a minute now. No more God games. They've been playing with you all that's been asleep for a long time. And many of you are Tiamat's children, and they don't even want you to know that. And that's why they send their archons on these YouTube streets to lie to you, to have you follow them, because they need your money. They want your currency too. They want your etheric energy. They want that. They feed off your etheric energy. Don't believe me? Y'all better start waking up, because what's happening right now globally, I told y'all the mothers are coming together. Dr. Kia Pruitt talked about this with a Moorish brother, And he mentioned, I think the Empress of the Philippines. Don't y'all know the Filipinos have our DNA? They come from the Moorish blood too. They come from the Moorish blood too. Right. We know who that is. We know who that is. We know who that is. We know a lot of the mods know who he talking about. Because he's going to take this information, run with it, and then his following, his subscribers going to think that he came up with it. Y'all need to start questioning that person. Really? So, hey, we'll talk. Yeah, 2 years. Oh, wow. 2 years wasted. Wow. But all I gotta say, we gotta focus on what's happening, y'all. I'll be right back. I'm cooking right now. I'll be right back. Be right back. You going crazy? Sorry, but somebody just tagged me. Running? Yes, I am running. I'm running. I remember last time when we was at the bus stop and we almost missed the bus and you just started running. All right. So like, come on. So here it go, right? Oh. We have. I'm gonna tell you like this. From what I was told, those on the East Coast, I was told 2 to 3 years. I was told 2.5. Right now, I don't know how true this is, but I don't know if it was Northern California, Southern. I don't know, but they had received a flood 2 weeks ago. I don't know which part. Mother Shelley put me put truly on with a brother that's keeping eyes on all the natural disasters that's happening, if I'm not mistaken. So that's what happened. He is wilding. He is meowing like crazy. You see what's going on with him? Yeah. So this brother been keeping tabs on a lot of stuff. Matter of fact, hopefully tomorrow I'm a more who said that there's things that's going to take place. And she spoke on those monks. I read her post again, and she said those monks are not real monks. She said real monks don't leave where their minister, their monastery. Thank you, Mother Shelley. You said it was Southern California. I appreciate it. Thank you, beloved. So everything that yours truly said on another channel that I was featured on, Mother Shelley, Brother Smurf, everybody that remember me from an old channel that I was featured on, I spoke on this stuff years ago. And years ago, I kept on talking about the natural disasters. I kept on telling everybody we got to go back to our science. You know how many people on that old channel I was featured on, when we was in these classes that they said I was trying to teach them witchcraft? No, I wasn't teaching you witchcraft. I was telling you to wake the fuck up, because this time was going to come. And I also told these same people during a class that there's going to be a final showdown, and people thought I was just making the shit up. So far, why do you think all the werewolves are coming out in New Orleans and all over? Why do you think people are seeing the Yeti coming out, the Wendigo, all these different creatures are coming out? These creatures are also ancient, mystical, and so on, but some of them don't mean us any good. Why do you think that voodoo is powerful how the way it is? Why do you think people are going into E5? Why do you think that the Albion, who we call the Caucasian, is going into your science? Why do you think that? Why do you think they're also going into E5, Santeria, and all of that? But they tell you that it's evil. Because these particular sciences activate all 114 of your chakras, and the main 7, also what you can call the main, also the 9 of how many chakras you have right there, the main ones, they get activated. They know this. They use your science on these television shows and on these movies. And I know that I'm buffering on some other stuff. My cat is going wild. He wilding now. You see he know I'm saying some stuff. He ain't do this until I start talking this. So what I'm going to do, I'm gonna try to keep my mouth shut because, like Brother Smur said, you know what I'm saying. There's gonna be somebody gonna say like I actually come to y'all, yeah, I mean, with some information I got from my downloads. Get them likes up. That's exactly what them people going to be saying, or that person going to be saying. And what downloads do you get? See, this is why I said you got to be careful to these beings. See, I'm not making this stuff up that I talk about. Exactly, like Mother Empress 503 said, because they can't use it, so they try to prevent you from using it. Exactly, I mean accessing. Exactly, you said PDFs. Exactly. So those that talk to me outside of YouTube, they know I'm the same person behind this in front of this camera. I don't have nothing to lie about. I've been the same person. I'm not no phony or fraud. I don't got time for that stuff. All I'm here to do is give messages and give the information that I hear, and that when is some confirmation that's taking place.
The kindest person on the planet.
Like my daughter said, she said the kindest person on the planet. That's what my daughter said. That's how I am.
You.
I know. There's so many things that I want to say, but I'm not going to be able to say it on YouTube. All I can tell you is keep your eyes on the weather, especially during the spring and summer solstice. They already trying to push a snowstorm on the East Coast. They trying to push one right now because they are trying to keep Tiamat asleep. I'm telling y'all, they're trying to keep us asleep. You got everybody on TikTok talking about Tiamat / Leviathan, but before I say anything, back to the Israelites, the tribe of Levi, y'all better look at that because that's connected to Leviathan. I'm telling y'all better do your homework. Better do your homework. You can Bible thump all day, but that Levi go back to Leviathan. You said look at Oregon. Hey, I'm not surprised. You have someone that's from Oregon on here right now. They know what's going on in Oregon. That's why I'm not surprised, because Mother Shelley, thank you for telling me about that volcano, beloved. Everything that your brother been saying, your little brother been saying, everything is happening. And see, the whole time I was trying to connect the dots on who is the primordial mother, who is the great mother, and the whole time, okay, it makes more sense. Wow. Stagnant air, fog advisory, can't breathe. See, they're doing this stuff on purpose. They know.
What's that?
I'll tell you about it as soon as I get off.
Weather?
That's out there in Oregon. No. That's out in Oregon, baby. Oh. They doing that on purpose because a lot of you that's over there is melanated children. They know. See, you gotta remember, they have the elite astrologers, astronomers, and so on. Your birth certificate have the time and the date. They look at that. Some of y'all birth certificates have your footprints on them. So they also can read your footprints, palms, all of that. So they know who is connected to her. They know who vibrates on the 144,000 frequency. They know that already. So all y'all people on YouTube saying, I'm chosen, I'm chosen, I'm chosen. Why would you say that on YouTube? Social media, out of all places. A real person that's chosen, know that they're chosen. The real chosen go through hella obstacles and still come up on top. But you know what they finally realize, a lot of them? They go through a real awakening when they come down finding out that the God that you call male is actually female. And some people say, well, that's not true to Gnostics. No. You're about to go back and look at the movie, The Da Vinci Code. There's a reason why the Vatican did not want the Da Vinci Code to come out and Angels and Demons. There's a reason for why they didn't want that coming out. Y'all better go back. Okay, cool. I most definitely. I appreciate that, beloved. See, over here, when we share information, we give each other shout outs on that. We don't take the information and run with it like it's ours because you know why? We want to let everybody know who is sending out the information and also how knowledgeable many of us are. We don't know everything. You know what I'm saying? But I digress. I just want to put that out there because my old mentor was like, bro, everything you saying, Dr. York having the holy tablets, and he's also spoke on that. Y'all, I never read the holy tablets a day in my life. And from what I'm being told, it have everything in there. All the extraterrestrials, Tiamat, the Anunnaki, everything's in their holy tablets. What's happening right now? All of that. Who is Melchizedek? Okay. Before I get off of here, I'm gonna go over something with y'all real quick. In the story of Tiamat, when Tiamat was fighting, getting ready to fight, I'll say the Anunnaki. There was one that stood up and fought Tiamat. The name was Marduk or Murdoch. Now, when he puts Tiamat to sleep, he took on 50 names. You ready to hear one of the names? A lot of you Christians and Muslims say it. Amen. Y'all say Amen, right? That's one of the names. Now, this is you can look this stuff up. He also Murdoch or Marduk took on had another name in the Judeo-Christian tradition and religion, all the way into Christianity and Islam. The name was Michael, the angel Michael or Michael. And to top all of that, a lot of you Jehovah Witnesses in your daggone doctrine, y'all say that Michael is Yahshua HaMashiach, which you call Jesus. Y'all know that. Y'all know that. Now let's go to the book of the Mormons, shall we, real quick? All you Mormons, y'all have an old video that's been hidden, and they call it banned, where y'all and your doctrine called the melanated people. Y'all called us cursed in your doctrine. Yeah. Yeah, but we're not gonna go there with Joseph Smith and Jehovah's Witnesses. We're not gonna go there with Charles Taz Russell. We ain't gonna go there. Okay, we're gonna leave that alone because there's things that I know about the hierarchy that I'm gonna keep my mouth shut on. So we're gonna leave that right there. So yeah, it's that serious, y'all. It's funny how things are actually happening because now, since the mother's waking up and all the mothers are finally coming together. Yeah, yeah. That's also explaining why the sun cycle is so powerful now. Y'all better remember because me and my old mentor talked about how China, like months ago, was getting burnt up to a crisp because of the sun cycle. Remember? Nobody don't want to talk about the sun cycle. That's why I said shout out to Dr. Malachi York and Dr. Delbert Blair, many others, all of the great teachers and scholars that came before all of us. That you can go back and listen to. Shout out to all of them. See, I want to tell y'all, I showed the video years ago too. Not years ago, a couple months ago. Not years ago, I was going to say years ago, damn. Like some months ago, where there's a story about the Orisha, how they came and created the planet. And it talked about how Oshun was the only female Orisha that came with them. I showed y'all yesterday how Oshun is connected to Mami Water, similar energies, and how Yemoja too is connected to Mami Water. Earlier today, I spoke about the movie. Earlier today, I talked about the movie Maleficent by Disney with Angelina Jolie, and I gave y'all the breakdown on how what's her name? Maleficent is. Maleficent was called the Queen of the Moors. Maleficent, know it or not, was Hat Haru. Hat Haru have similar energies to that of Oshun. You better look it up. I'm telling y'all, when you look at the horns that Maleficent had, they're so identical to that of Hat Haru. Okay? Now, Hat Haru, Oshun, Yemoja, Kwayen. Those are some of the 10,000 names of the primordial mother. Y'all better do your homework and start looking it up. Now, in the movie Maleficent, she fell in love with a human man. That human man wound up becoming the king. Maleficent thought she was going to marry him. Uh-uh. He wound up marrying someone else, a woman, and she gave birth to a little girl. Y'all call her Sleeping Beauty, Aurora. Okay, when that happened, Maleficent, along with those three fairies that y'all saw that became the three fairy godmothers of Sleeping Beauty, Maleficent, that was the real fairy godmother. And the whole story is about her first love. She thought her first love was that guy that became king. Her first love was her goddaughter. And did you know that Maleficent turned into the dragon in the movie? Mmm. Interesting shit, ain't it? She turned into the dragon. But when her goddaughter slash daughter, because the goddaughter's mom passed away, and the dad wound up becoming real evil. Look up the movie and watch it for yourself. The first one, then the second one is a serious. The second one is very serious too. But I'm telling you a little bit about the first one. So, what happened what happened afterwards when she turned into the dragon? In order for her to transform back into her natural form, she had to pretty much find her first love, mother and child, mother and daughter. The whole story was about the primordial mother with her first child, her firstborn, her first love. They took the story of Assets. Don't believe me? You better start looking up all this stuff, because the name that I spelled for you, I mean Iesous. Pronounce the word, and you'll see who that is. I'll be right back.
Why is that running? No, shit's on my leg. Yeah? Okay.
My bad. I'm cooking, right? So I had to hurry up and get on this live real quick and start talking. Because I ain't want to forget all this information. So her first love was her daughter. Well, she wanted to become a daughter. That was her first love. The whole time, she had to realize who her first love really was. When she found out that her daughter was her first love, she gave her daughter the throne, and her daughter became the queen of the Moors, while she became the protector. You gotta remember now, Maleficent, she's also a dragon. She has the power to turn into the dragon. Is on the second one, she found out that she's not the only kind of her people. That there's other kinds that's like her on the second one. The thing is, she's the most powerful one out of her people, which makes her the queen of her people, or the chosen one. Just saying. But I digress though, y'all. I recommend you watch the movie and then you start look and then look up Hathor or Hathor pictures. You'll see that she has wings and the horns like Maleficent. Now she has similar energies to that of Oshun. Okay, uh, in Voodoo she has similar energies to that of Izuli Freda. Okay, um, yeah, and to be technical, you have Yemoja, who primordial mother too in the Yoruba pantheon. So the list goes on. 10,000 names, 10,000 titles. The list goes on. Get the book, The Great Black Mama of Creation by Suzar. You'll be surprised how many names are actually feminine. Just saying. Just saying. But we all know that listen to keywords from other people on YouTube. Go back to watch this video once it's finished downloading. Because a lot of people would watch this channel and what they do, they go hit on theirs and start breaking stuff down. Um, that's why I said thank you for spreading the news. But the truth is going to come out. Once again, shout out to all the great teachers: Malachi York, Dr. Delbert Blair, um, Bobby Hemmett, Brother Panic, many others. Everything is about to start unfolding. What's happening? The Kundalini is starting to rise up on the planet too. Shout out to uh, Holistic Remedies 9. He spoke on that. He said that the planet itself, the Kundalini of the planet, is rising along with ours. So that's why they're trying to keep the planet frozen. This planet, like he said, is a tropical planet. It was never supposed to be a frozen planet. They know this. You got to remember. Yes, exactly, exactly. In all actuality, it's a wake up. It's a wake up call. I'm gonna tell y'all like this. How it's going? They are scared of us going back into our full potential power. That's what it is. Esoterically and exoterically, they know. There's another book I recommend called The Legacy of the Black Gods by Paul Simon. I don't know how much it is now. Last time I paid for it, it was like $12. I don't know how much it is now. But in that book, it talks about um, the mystery schools of Poseidon. And I'm going to tell you real quick who Poseidon is. Poseidon is Inki or Inkai. Inkai is one of the sons of who? Anu. What they don't tell you is that Inkai was part reptilian as well. What they don't tell you is that Inkai was connected to the water. And he went by another name. You ready to hear it? Here it goes. Neptune. Just saying. Just saying. Just saying. Just saying. Because Poseidon is another name for Neptune. In the book, The Legacy of the Black Gods, they show the mystery schools of Poseidon. You know what the mystery schools really were? Where they learned the arcane arts, our science that they've been using against us till this day. During the time of the mystery schools of Poseidon, that's where you used to meet your twin flame. And y'all would come together as one and y'all would do service of for humanity. During that time of Poseidon, you would learn all the arcane arts that you needed to serve humanity, and that was also the location of all the star children. And guess what? The star children look like us. They look like us. Someone was fair skinned, they had, the fair light skin, they had the light skinned brothers, light skinned sisters, they had them there too. But just want to share that with y'all. Okay? Just know that this information It's all been written. They've been keeping it from us. They don't want us to know. Okay. That's all I gotta say. I've been on here long enough. I love all of y'all. I appreciate y'all for watching. Um, this is our channel, not my channel. I keep telling y'all that. And let me see if I forget anything. Nah. Remember, the Kundalini is directly connected to the X chromosome. The X chromosome is called the mitochondrial. That is only found in black women. Okay? It do not listen. It's only found in black women, but any sister who date outside and you have children by somebody that don't look like you, by law, that child is a part of your culture. Your culture. That means that that child is considered a more through you because it's about inheritance. Inheritance. Not the father, but the mother. We're going back to the matriarch, not the patriarch. The patriarch, because of the people that look like this, they were against the matriarch. That is why, i.e., they was destroying everything about the matriarch. They know. They don't want you to know, but they know. That is why all Becky Sue's and everybody trying to come after your men because they know the value of that X chromosome. Even though he have a Y, he still got the X because the X was first. They know about the power of melanin. It's about genetic survival. They know that. And I'm not talking about all of us. I'm just saying, I'm not talking about all y'all. You know, you got some good ones out there. They be like, yo, I want them back in power again. It was cool back then when they were in power because everybody was dealing with love and everybody was all chill and laid back. Just saying. That's where we're going at into now. That's why all the mothers are coming together. The real sisterhood, not this fake shit that they got out here through social media. The real sisterhood, the real matriarch is coming back in the full swing. So, on that note, I gotta get back to cooking because my babies need to eat. So do I. All I gotta say is love, peace, light, darkness. The yin and yang, which is divine, feminine, and masculine. Even though we know that the real divine masculine don't really exist like that, but we'll get into that another time. Anyway, which is the feminine and masculine bring forth supreme balance. Which is supreme balance. Which is supreme balance and also which represents so above, so below. Which that the what they call it? The Baphomet, you know how she's pointing upward and then she's pointing down. You notice that how she point up and she points down? The Baphomet, before I go, the Baphomet is connected to the sea goat. You see that? I'm about to get off here. No, the Baphomet is connected to the sea goat. Well, I'm gonna check it. The Baphomet is connected to the sea goat, y'all. That's where they get the whole goat thing from. Me up. It's connected to Capricorn. The Baphomet is connected to the sea goat Capricorn. Look that up. They've been lying to you about every goddamn thing. They don't want you to know this. They got you scared of the boogeyman. The boogeyman that don't even exist. The boogeyman is something that they made up. Yes. So on that note, I gotta go. Love all y'all. Peace. Gotta get out of here. May the primordial mother and the ancestral spirits guide you and protect you along with the archangels and the angels. I love all y'all. Take care. Good night.